Have you ever met a woman who seems perfect, confident, charming, magnetic, but something about her feels off? Deep down, you sense there's a story she's not telling you. If you ignore that feeling, it could cost you years of your life, your emotional energy, and maybe even your self-respect. The truth is, women often reveal patterns about their past without even realizing it. Little clues that speak louder than their words. Today, I'm going to show you 7 signs she has slept with a lot of men. And let me tell you, the 4th one is the most dangerous manipulation tactic I've ever seen a woman use. As a relationship coach, I've watched countless men realize too late that they ignored the signs. They thought everything was fine, until it wasn't. Don't be that guy. Learn to spot these patterns early, and you'll free yourself to find a relationship that truly works for you. Subscribe, and share in the comments if you've ever had a moment where you suspected something was off in a past or current relationship. Your story might be exactly what another man needs to hear to avoid the same trap. Because in just a moment, I'm going to reveal the first sign, and trust me, it's one most men mistake for a good thing. The first sign is that she's too comfortable with intimacy too soon. Now, I need you to really hear this, because this is where most men get it wrong. You meet a woman, and within days, or even hours, she's already talking about physical closeness like it's no big deal. She locks eyes with you, drops a sly comment about past experiences, and you start thinking, wow, she's confident, she's liberated, she's into me. But no, my friend. What you're seeing isn't confidence, it might be emotional erosion. A healthy woman, one who truly values connection, has a natural barrier when it comes to intimacy. Not because she's shy or repressed, but because she understands its weight. She knows real closeness builds slowly, layered with trust, vulnerability, and emotional investment. When that barrier is missing, it's not liberation, it's a red flag. It means those boundaries have been crossed so many times that they no longer exist. Think of it like a lock that's been forced open too many times. It no longer protects anything. That's what happens when intimacy becomes routine instead of meaningful. And here's the danger. You'll mistake her lack of modesty for deep connection, thinking, we've got this crazy spark. It's fate. But the truth is, she's just reenacting a script she's played before, and you're simply the latest co-star. When intimacy loses its emotional weight, it's almost impossible to get it back. So, don't confuse instant comfort with genuine connection. Just because she crosses the line early doesn't mean she's choosing you. It might mean the line doesn't exist anymore. The second sign is that she carries a permanent emotional wall. This one is subtle, and it fools even the most emotionally intelligent men. She'll sit across from you, laughing, joking, maybe even sharing a few stories that sound personal. But make no mistake, you're not getting the real her. You're getting the performance. A woman with a permanent emotional wall has mastered the art of making you feel close without ever letting you actually be close. She gives you a tour of her life, but the doors to the most important rooms stay locked. And unlike healthy boundaries, this isn't about pacing, it's about defense. Brick by brick, through heartbreaks and betrayals, she's built a fortress. And once you're inside her orbit, you'll realize she's warm but not vulnerable. You'll open up about your struggles, your fears, your dreams, hoping it inspires her to do the same. She'll respond, but never with the same depth. Over time, this imbalance drains you. And when conflict comes, her wall becomes impenetrable. She'll shut down, disappear, or just end it altogether. Pay attention. If months go by and your connection still feels shallow, it's not in your head. It's the wall. And loving someone who hides behind it will slowly make you feel like you've been alone the entire time. The third sign is that she has an overcrowded male network. You've probably heard, they're just friends. And sometimes that's true. But if her phone is constantly buzzing with messages from guys, if every topic you bring up somehow connects to a male friend, or if her inner circle is made up almost entirely of men, that's not coincidence, it's a pattern. Often, it's a validation loop. It's about always having male attention, no matter her relationship status. It's addictive, like a quiet hit of reassurance that she's attractive and wanted. Look for the signs. She keeps in touch with multiple exes. She has best friends who clearly want more, and when you ask about them, she dismisses your concerns with, he's harmless. But harmless men don't send late-night texts. Harmless men don't call conveniently when you're away. You'll also notice that her female friendships are weak or almost non-existent because real female friendships require emotional reciprocity. Male attention, on the other hand, doesn't. It's easy, it's constant, and it keeps her options open. And that's the real danger. When conflict arises, she doesn't have to start from scratch. She can just promote someone from the roster. A woman who always has a lineup of men on standby isn't truly available, no matter what she says. The fourth sign is the most dangerous. She uses intimacy as currency. At first, it feels like closeness, but it's actually a transaction. When things are tense, she suddenly becomes affectionate, seductive, softer. And just like that, the problem disappears. But it didn't, it just got paid off. On the flip side, when she's upset or wants to make a point, intimacy is the first thing she withholds, not out of genuine emotion, but as punishment. This is not intuition, it's strategy. Women who've cycled through short, high-turnover relationships often learn which tactics get results, and weaponizing intimacy is one of the most powerful. It taps into your biology, your emotions, and your ego all at once. Watch the timing closely. Does affection appear right after you do what she wants? Does it disappear the moment she's displeased? If so, you're not in a relationship, you're in a negotiation. And in that game, love becomes business, and you're the customer who doesn't even realize he's paying. The fifth sign is that she has mastered the art of reading and controlling men. There's a difference between a woman who understands men naturally and one who studies them deliberately. The first is intuitive, the second is calculated. She's been in enough relationships with enough different men that she's basically run her own private lab on male behavior. And now, she knows exactly which buttons to push. At first, it feels magical. She notices things no one else does, praises your strengths, makes you feel seen in ways you've always wanted. But genuine understanding grows over time. Instant compatibility is usually her reading you like a book. Once she maps your strengths and insecurities, she can manipulate you subtly. One moment, she builds you up, the next she undermines you just enough to make you crave her approval. This emotional volatility feels intoxicating. You think it's passion. But it's conditioning. If you ever feel like your emotions are being carefully managed, it's because they are. And at that point, you face a choice: keep dancing to her tune, or walk away and reclaim control. The sixth sign is that she has no shame or discretion about her past. This isn't about judging someone's history. It's about whether they treat intimacy with respect. A woman who casually tells stories about her exes, openly shares her number of partners, or even brags about her past like it's a badge of honor isn't demonstrating confidence. She's showing you that intimacy no longer holds meaning for her. When something sacred is repeated too often, it stops being sacred at all. And here's the problem: if she speaks about her past without discretion, there's a good chance she'll handle your relationship the same way. What's supposed to be private might easily become public. And once that boundary is gone, trust becomes fragile. Pay attention. Does she speak with care about intimacy, or does she talk about it like it's just another story? Because if she can't see why discretion matters, she won't see why you matter. The seventh and final sign is a history of short-term relationships. On the surface, it might seem harmless. Sometimes things just don't work out. But when it's a consistent pattern, relationships that never last beyond a few months, it's not bad luck, it's a blueprint. Every time, it's the same cycle: intense attraction, rapid escalation, and then a quick collapse. And the endings are always framed as timing or circumstances, never her own inability to build something that lasts. What this really shows is a craving for novelty, the rush of new attraction, the butterflies, the late-night texts. But when the high fades, so does the relationship. The problem is, real commitment isn't built in the honeymoon phase. It's forged in the hard work that comes after. If she's never stayed long enough to reach that stage, she's untested in what makes love last. And if that's her history, chances are it will also be your future unless you walk away. When you step back and see all 7 signs together, the picture becomes clear. This isn't about judging someone's past, it's about recognizing patterns. Because patterns shape people. A lack of emotional barriers, permanent emotional walls, a constant need for male attention, weaponized intimacy, emotional manipulation, disregard for discretion, and a trail of short-term relationships. None of these traits exist in isolation. Together, They form a blueprint. Too many men ignore the warnings, hoping they'll be the exception. But patterns don't change because you care. They change only when she chooses to confront them, and that's rare. Protect your standards. Recognize the signs. Because your future depends on the choices you make today.